So, what do you guys want to talk about?
You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother. Put out the caution tape. Put out the orange cones. Acknowledge me.
Hey there, and welcome to A+ Wrestling here on KPHR Hamilton and on YouTube on @Hutch Henrys. We are your hosts to chat all things professional wrestling. I'm Boris, and as always, I'm joined by Hutch. Hutch, how's it going?
The tubin of Ubin is where we're at. It's going okay. I guess I can't really complain. I like the end of that intro, like where like Abyss is laughing. I suddenly realized like we should just make it intro of just all people laughing, like Neidhart and Abyss, just all like the bad like wrestling laughs, like James Mitchell, like all the guys. I guess like DiBiase, like just like a laughing intro. They're mocking us. They're not laughing with us, Boris. They're laughing at us. They're like A+, huh? Also, Tony Khan's laughing at us. The Canadians. He's like, we'll give you a Kyle O'Reilly, but the rest of you, you're all getting beat.
Right?
Yes.
Right? There we go. Tons to talk about this week on this huge WrestleMania week. We're going to be talking about AEW Dynamite, some SmackDown, some Raw, and that leads us into WrestleMania, which we're going to be having a special WrestleMania preview later on this week. So much more to talk about with that. But yeah, Hutch, how's everything? How's your week? What's going on in the life of Hutch?
It's been a weird, interesting week. The show I'm working with is currently on set in the Yukon, or offset now. Last week I went and I helped offload some stuff from most of the crew and a lot of the actors. The production guys are all there. They were supposed to come back. What date? They were supposed to come back Sunday, then Monday, then today. I keep getting told like, no, one more day. They've got storms up there like crazy, like they can't come back. But tomorrow, I am going to meet a bunch of like rich and important people and be like, hey, how you? And they're all going to look really disheveled and tired and cold and be happy to be back. And it'll be nice. And I will take care of all their stuff for them, production-wise. Really.
It's going to be beautiful. Beautiful day. Beautiful weather we're getting here, to say the least.
Yeah, well, thank God. Today was actually nice, sunny. A lot of rain. So don't say that it's nice yet, Boris. It's not fair. First snowfall was September last year. And just because today was sunny for a while, they're just teasing us, man. It's like WWE, right? They give you like a promo that's okay, and then you tune in, you realize it's just long-winded. It's awful. They don't over-deliver like AEW. AEWs, they're so prepubescent now. They're just like, oh, here. And you're like wiping your face. You're like, all right, wrestling. Thanks, guys.
Right. So let's start with that. Let's start with the AEW. We'll see how far we get into the world of WWE, but just remember, we do have a special WrestleMania preview coming later in podcast form later on this week. And the way that you can sign up for the podcast is by going to your favorite podcast app and searching for A+ Wrestling or A+ Productions. Hit that subscribe and remember to leave a review. That's how you can find all of our other shows later on this week. But yes, Hutch.
Okay, wait. AEW Dynasty. All right. We if we do go chronological, we can make this really quick. All right. AAA is all about the Grande Americanos. If you haven't checked it out, go watch it. They show SmackDown how to do brawls. They did a great brawl, and they like Liv Morgan did. They like accidentally headbutted each other, and like Gable is such a freaking Olympic athlete that while they were brawling, he couldn't help. But as soon as freaking Kaiser gave his back to him at one point, he just like leaned back and like threw him like Olympic. Like, it is such a great brawl. I love these guys. That's all you need to care about that. At SmackDown, you don't need to care about that. Like, if I really want to go, I like the Angel and Devil it. We'll just go straight James Mitchell Devil here right now. That housing sucked. It all sucked. I can't believe how much it sucks. I can tell you why it's good in some ways. I might be able to be like, hey, you can see where it might go. And, a suit guy might think this is good and that's good. But we all know it sucks. And now the presentation sucks. But I don't know. I'm hoping that maybe there is some real like stuff that happens with Punk and McAfee and maybe all these guys. There's political stuff too, right? Punk's super left and McAfee, all that stuff. So like there's meat on the bone. We're all paying attention because of our hatred. But it's like the Disney model. They're like, if we make it really bad, they'll talk about how bad it is. And that's way more press. And then if it's really bad, we can just tax write it off. We can bury it like Willow, like boom, out of there. But there you go.
Yeah.
Now you want to talk Dynasty? I feel like I kind of summed it up.
Yeah,
right?
say chronological order. You start on Saturday, Friday, jump to Friday. Jesus Christ, Hutch.
I was just getting rid of it all in one package, the weekend package, all right? And you want me next time
Sunday.
I'll start with Friday next time.
AEW invaded Vancouver for AEW Dynasty. We're going to jump right into things. The biggest thing from the 0 hour, the biggest takeaway, in my opinion, was the return of Camille. That was quite the surprise.
That was good. I watched all 5.5 hours of this. I watched the 0 hour. I watched it all. Camille coming back was great. It's like the weirdest backstage brawl ever. Like, so she attacked her from behind, then she like whipped her into the steel door, but then she like picked her up and stood back and like did like she had Willow and like did like a reverse whip and again whipped her into it. It's like, you don't have to Irish whip people all the time in wrestling. Like, you could do other stuff. Like, she just basically Irish whipped her into the metal door a bunch of times. So she's got her wrestling down pat. She's like, yeah, I'm a wrestler. See, I Irish whip people.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much happened. But yeah, she's back. Hopefully they use her properly. We'll see.
That tag team match was fun. I don't know about those two gals that were the opponents. I think they gave them too much for the women's tag team match with Lena Cross and Megan Bain. Man, what a team. Fun stuff. Gave way too much to those two girls who are not quite ready. They put in their best, but still, that was pretty fun. I like seeing them go over. There was something else that I thought maybe should have switched.
Marina Shafir and Alex Windsor.
Yeah, like freaking man, like Shafir has like everything you would want in a superstar female wrestler except timing. Like her freaking like timing and footwork in the ring, like it's just really bad. And I feel like it's like you can't teach height. You can't teach like there's certain things you can't teach. I'm wondering if she's not teachable in this fashion because she's vicious. She looks great. Her promos are even getting better. And almost the fact that she has like bad promos makes her seem more dangerous. Like those people that you just don't understand them. Even their cadence and the way they speak, you're like, oh man, this person's screwed up. But there's something about her in-ring work that's like not right. And it's different than Jade Cargill, who's also on paper, I would almost say the same things about them. Except Jade Cargill can't do promo stuff. But there are a lot of the same problems, the realism, the timing, and it's just something's wrong there. And it's really too bad because I want to love Marina Shafir. Like, you know how much I love Roddy Strong. So I'd love to love them both. Yeah. But I don't.
Here's my thing with her. I just don't give it an ish. I really don't give a crap. I don't care about her. She does nothing in terms of making me emotionally invested to her.
And why is that, Boris?
I don't know. That's
no, like part. You don't know what's missing. You don't like her look, or
no? Like, I honestly, I have no idea what it is. I cannot explain this to you. It just when I don't. Yeah, you know what? Some people you just don't give a crap about. Right?
Oh yeah, okay. There you go.
I think that's honestly what it is.
For some reason, I just don't give a crap about them out there, like in wrestling. But for her, it's just it doesn't seem real because it's not real and it's weird. And she's like an MMA person too. She could probably kick your ass, but somehow it doesn't look real. But
I'm afraid to say what I really feel sometimes. Because, no, I'm joking. I just honestly, I have no idea. I just don't care at all. All right, Scott Ainsworth. Just remember, you can leave your comments if you're watching us live every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern at Hutch Henry's on YouTube. Otherwise, you have to just listen to us ramble on KPHR Hamilton. Scott Ainsworth, all the way from Australia, says, Marina has never given me a reason to be invested in her. That's fair.
Yeah, and like the Death Riders thing, it still kind of fizzled. Like it never had the focused direction and purpose that it kind of felt like it was supposed to have when Moxley first came out and approached Shivani, and having her as his pseudo China thing, like whatever was going on with it. And then it just never really blossomed into the flower we all wanted to like stick our nose in every day. Like Death Riders. Like instead we're kind of like, whatever. You like that analogy, Boris? Get your nose in on that Death Rider flower. Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Well played.
Scott's glad he's listening now. He's like, wow, I'm really glad I tuned in.
Right. Right. There we go. All
right. Let's are we going to chronologicalize this pay-per-view PLE? Let's do it.
Yeah. Do you have your notes ready? And I'm using air quotes right now.
Yeah. I do have some notes, but I don't really ever look at them. It's kind of funny. Like
I know.
glancing.
It's so true because we've talked about this. It's funny. Anyways, the show started off with the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson versus AEW International Champion Okada and Takeshita. There we go. Don Callis at commentary on this one.
Yeah, man, this match was actually freaking awesome. Like all the way through. Even the stupid Okada and Takeshita stuff on occasion, slapping each other while they're in the submissions. And I don't know, it was good. The weird thing about this one was it the fact that if they decided to team up, he would give him a shot, or, hey, if we win this match, I'll give you a shot. Because now the commentators are talking about how
he said if they teamed up. He didn't mean that they had to stay together throughout the entire match, which was the kind of the I gotcha that led to the finish of this match.
I see. Okay, so then I guess it doesn't matter. Well, I thought that was a bit weird. I'm like, all right, so now he's going to get a title shot anyways, because the commentators were talking about it. But, good stuff. Whoa, Kitty has decided to come in this room, which
I'm like, whoa, that freaked the crap out of me.
My cat doesn't usually come in here when I'm recording. I close the door or whatnot, but there is a crack that is just the size enough for my smallest cat to get in here so I can give her a little attention. But she doesn't usually come in here, but she has decided to make her way in. It's too small of a crack for my other fat ass cats to get through. So it's kind of like on the occasion that I'm in here recording or doing stuff, she'll come in and, kind of crawl up in the corner. But I've opened the window today, which is that direction in this room. So she's decided. There
we go.
Come on through.
The end of the match saw the Bucks setting up for the Meltzer driver on Okada, but Takeshita grabs Nick's foot. Takeshita opted to release the foot. The Bucks hit the Meltzer driver on Okada. Matt covers him for the win. Young Bucks win in about 20 minutes. That was that. I love this match. This was a great opener. Beautiful opener.
Go on.
I was just going to start saying, this is, but at the same time, what else do you expect from AEW? This is par for course, as they say, for AEW, and this is a great way to start the entire show, the actual show, and the crowd was really into it. I was really into it, and then I'm reminded that we are watching AEW, where it's going to be a great show, going to be great wrestling, but I'm going to be tired the next morning.
Yes, you look tired even right now. We're still recovering days later.
I'm still tired from this show.
The older you get,
I feel like it ended 10 minutes ago.
It's like going on a bender. It takes you 2 days to recover now instead of one. But yeah, it's like this. I'm wiping it out of my eyes because I'm like, all right, boys, wow. But a great match, really fun match. I can't believe I enjoyed it all the way through. And they had the peak audience here too, who was salivating. The pay-per-views just started, so even though they've seen some wrestling, they're hot to trot. So they got a lot of good reactions from the crowd. At one point, I felt like when they finally ended up forearming each other, Okada and Takeshita, I thought when Okada gave him the first forearm, I thought he should have been hey, sorry, man. I kind of felt like it, They took it too seriously when they started attacking each other. I almost felt and I liked how they were attacking each other, but then attacked the Bucks. I feel like there could be a little more humor in here, but I'm just nitpicking. Good stuff. AEW always gives too much. Like you said, you know what you're in for. It's going to be a long night, but everything is balls to the walls. And this match was one of my favorites on the night.
Same here. It might have been, I think overall it was the match of the night for me. At this point, I was wondering about the crowd because I noticed that the upper deck was kind of tarped off. So I looked at everyone's favorite wrestling ticket website at WrestleTix on X. They said that the setup for the venue was for 9,000. with 8,699 tickets distributed. Listed capacity is 9,700. Just as an FYI, the last time that AEW ran the Rogers Arena in Vancouver, they distributed 6,643 tickets for their May 11th, 2024 collision.
All right.
Some stats. We're all about stats here in North America.
I guess so. So what, are they doing better or worse? I stopped paying. The stats aren't that riveting. I stopped paying attention. Are they doing better or worse?
Oh my God, Hutch. It's better. It's better. Jesus
better? That's
Christ.
Good.
It's
right.
better. Number is higher. They are doing better. It's a
that how it works?
Oh my God.
All right.
I'm done.
Are you really done? All right.
Nah,
I was going to say, I'm sorry. It's like, I know I'm all you got. So
can you imagine if that was it? If that's what got me out of everything we've gone through over the past, 10 months?
Hey, are we like, where's our buddy? That we didn't have a buddy this week.
No, well, no. Time change. But he says for WrestleMania weekend he'll be able to help out, which we need to talk about in general. Match number 2 of the night was Chris Jericho versus Ricochet. What in 2026?
Yeah, like what a carny freaking Jericho is, right? Like, you know that he was talking with WWE. He was like kind of like in their tweets and like doing stuff online that was weird. Now he's re-signed his contract, but of course he's got to come out and be like, well, I'm home again, and like, if I've got to be here since I was getting booed before, how do I carny this up? I know I'll like pull out the list of Jericho. I'll keep it calm. I'm not going to go too over the top. Like, bam, Jericho's back. It's just going to like slide in nice, make a few jokes, maybe lose. I'm going to lose a couple times, I'm going to make people like not hate me. Like put my hair in Ricochet's face and make people laugh, like work on what's worked in the past, take it low key, put on a hell of a performance and looking pretty good at 55. But I guarantee you everything was pre-planned. Like Jericho's such a carny. And I kind of love it. And he's back. What can you do, man?
What else do you expect? You know what? Does it make him a carny or does that make him brilliant?
Like kind of brilliant. Like he's still around. He's still in some ways.
And he used any internet momentum because this is where Tony Khan's love of the internet can backfire, because that Chris Jericho used the internet against Tony Khan, got that momentum, got people talking about Jericho to WWE, and Tony Khan must have freaked and said, "What do you need to keep you here?"
Yeah, maybe. Who knows what's going on backstage with all these monkeys over there? But pretty fun time here. I like the moonsault, the line saw ending. I thought maybe he was going to knees up and like roll him up or something like that. But Gates of Agony starting to get over. Is it just me? Tony Leone is so much more than Bishop Khan. Like Bishop Khan's just kind of there. But like Tony Leone, his presence is like massive.
ROH days, I've been saying, Leone's the man. He's got it. There's something he's got.
And like he's even telling Ricky, she's like, no, Ricochet, give him the lion salt, right? See, if this was the bloodline, I'd be like, oh, Jay's in charge of the bloodline now, telling Roman what to do. No, this is a prime example of your underling being like, no, hey, boss man, nah, hit him with the lion salt. Be like, it's a great idea. I knew there's a reason I got you around, buddy. That's a great idea. Bam, lion salt, right? That's why you got underlings, right? Totally on the man. I love the Demand. Also kind of like the name. Follow Demand Lucha online at Demand Lucha.
There we go. I like that. Perfect there. Hey, Ricochet picks up an actual win.
Yeah, like pretty neat. Oh, can you hear that siren coming through?
Oh, that's coming from your side? I thought that was coming from my side.
It's the first time I've had the window open doing the podcast, and I live like right downtown Toronto, man. Go outside. Yep. It's not a fun scene.
Yeah, we kind of both do, right? You're just more in it in a sense. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right?
The it with the SH in front of it. That's where I live.
Yeah. Well, I also have an ambulance hub like literally a few doors down from me. So I hear ambulances all the time. I actually completely ignore them now. And then when I have people over, they're like, oh, don't you hear them all the time? Like, no, you really don't.
Dude, Liberty Village is encroaching. Like the gentrification is coming in more and more and more. And like, dingy bars are turning into like simulated golf like experiences and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, it's like, it's encroaching in weirdly. Like Akira or, like the blob that keeps coming at you, or that one G.I. Joe episode where they had to kill that blob using like apple seeds or whatever. Yes. I don't know. Like these.
Exactly. All right. The next match sent us to see Darby Allin versus Andrade El Idolo. This match, what did you think of this match?
Well, like generally, Darby's kind of been turning me off lately a little bit, but like Andrade's got so much freaking aura now. He's so amazing that I like was right in on this match. And I told you, I watched like this entire, I didn't half-ass it this time. I watched everything with the exception, I think I muted the Tekla match. Like I was doing something else, so I put it on mute and I hear like the crowd like ruin the match. So to me, I was watching the match and I was like, this match is awesome. And then I heard later that it was like, crowd was like, it was like a little burnout period for the crowd. They'll go get some food, go take a pee or whatever. And so crowd ruined the match. But for me, watching that one on mute, it was a great match. It was a killer match. What were we just talking about? What match is this? We're talking about Darby. Oh my Lord. Did he not like the Samoa Joe spot, the Samoa Joe stare spot? Like Samoa Joe even said it was the worst spot of his entire life. He's like, not only did I bruise my tailbone, I chipped a bone in my elbow, and it bothered me for years and years. And wouldn't you know, Darby's got a massive welt on his back, and he was like holding his elbow after. And I'm like, what a freaking whack job. Like, I don't know if I like it. I like it, but I don't like it. He's got such a persona and such a look and such a thing, and he's going to ruin it by like burning himself out. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, this guy's going to kill himself. Like, he can't be that invincible, can he? Like, I don't get it.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And like Andrade, like stepping it up, man, with the facials and like the at the ending, like the disbelief and the handshake. And he really needs a pair of tearaways because that is like an over gimmick. Like he needs to just be like looking at the crowd and like have a signal and bam, he needs to Okada it. He can't be like pulling these freaking pants off in the middle of a match. But I love it.
I kind of like the pulling off. I kind of like the uncomfortableness that he causes when he does that. I don't know, there's something to be said. I know what you mean. He should be like, what's his name from New Japan? Not Okada.
Like Naito, like slowly take it off like Naito. That's what I was going to say. Like Naito does his like come down to the ring in a suit, slowly take my suit off, like to like cool down his opponents. And like it's psychology. Right? It's like wrestling psychology. He's screwing his opponents because he doesn't care and he takes so long and tranquilo and throw the belt and that whole shtick, right? And also, I have no respect for you. I take my time. Whereas Okada, with the same gimmick, similar gimmick, right? He got the pop, he got the thing. Like it's a moment where he can work with the crowd and it's like, bam, it's like hitting a pile driver. Like it's a spot. Bam, tearaway, crowd pops. Like, yes, that's even something where you could get cut off. Imagine a heel as you pulled it off, like, hit you so you didn't get all the way through, or a heel pulls it off during the match while you're down, like ruining the small boo. Like there's so much more there. But Andrade,
well, look,
he
I
really
was referring
leans
to Tai Chi,
towards
and
it.
look at when Tai Chi doesn't get it done all the time, right? Like it's a thing. It's a huge thing now.
So Tai Chi does have his thing, which is more. I keep forgetting that Tai Chi used to do that all the time. It still does, but it's like he's doing it a lot less. But it used to be his thing, like oh bam, right? But I don't know. Andrade, he even did it during this match before he did his double knees or when he was in the corner. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be great to like do it, bam, and then your double knees, bulls in the horns, and all that stuff, even though that's Roosh. Andrade, how come Andrade is not ROH champion? Like him, Bandito, beating Bandito like the week before to get this match or to get whatever he got. And now Bandito coming out in the TNT match and not winning that. Like, man, they're like making ROH less and less valuable all the time. And it's really too bad. I think it has.
They really are, right? And even being in the studio show, I don't know, it took something away from ROH. That's a conversation
Andrade
for another day.
Could be ROH champ right now. What's wrong with that?
Could be.
What's wrong with him?
Should
like
be.
Still wanting more.
Should
still being
be.
like, I want my ROH champion. And like that would be Don Callis saying, hey, Andrade is gonna do the thing. And he's like, what are you talking about? Why? He's like, I want the AEW title. He's like, we got the ROH title, it's fine. Like like MJF's paying us money, it's fine. Now it's almost like more of a reason for him to be upset. Like, hey, I don't have any titles or anything. Like now you're screwing me over. If you had a title, Don could even be like, what's the matter? You got it. What a pittance. No, this isn't what I want, right?
Yep. Andrade goes for a cover. He acts stuns. He didn't get the pin. As you mentioned, those facial and all that. Darby Allin kind of catches him with a Last Supper, gets the 3 count. Darby Allin beats Andrade in about 16 minutes, 30 seconds, and he earns a shot at the AEW World Championship. For some reason, I thought this match would happen down the road, but no. MJF, Darby Allin. If you're watching us on YouTube tomorrow, if you're listening to us on KPHR, match already happened.
Yeah, well, dude, like, you think Tony's gonna put the belt on Darby here? I mean, because this is happening in Washington State, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Darby's home state.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean anything in wrestling anymore.
No, not really.
Unless
but
you're Edge.
The complete unpredictability of our AEW in general. We never know what these guys are thinking. Like Tony Khan could totally be thinking, I'm going to put it on Darby right now, which I'm not saying that he should. I'm not saying he shouldn't. I don't even know. I hardly have an opinion anymore about what AEW should or shouldn't do because like the way that they justify things and like their title scene and like the unified title and all this like weird stuff they do where you're like, what are these people thinking sometimes? And like, even the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal, which is great, but the whole like, hey, you know, if you get number 1 or 2, it's better for you. And it's like, yeah, I guess so. But like, the reason they didn't do this for like a long, long time is because it's not that great an idea. But Tony Khan somehow is like, yeah, no, it's great. It's great. And they're fun matches, but you know what I mean? It's weird. I don't know. It's all weird.
Speaking of which,
and so
the I Told You So match of the night is the next one. FTR versus Copeland and Christian Cage for the AEW tag team titles. You were so convinced that this was going to be Cope and Christian's time to win. I told you it wouldn't be.
So, like, you know what you did? And I'm very proud of
I don't get it. Look, I don't know why. It was this gut feeling. I honestly preferred, let's have the summer of Cope and Christian as champs leading into whatever pay-per-view is going to be happening in October.
It still could be. I mean, now they've beaten them twice, so they need to have a reason to, like, have another match or a cage match or get Beth involved. You know, the Young Bucks just won their match. We can have more FTR Young Bucks. Could be all three of these teams all summer. I mean, the 7-time tag team championship that they mentioned, all of those happened in 1 year back in 2000, between 2000 and 2001 or whatever. So it's like hot shotting your tag team title around between people that are the top people in the division. Like, because of the chaos that tag team wrestling is, you can do it. You certainly do it with the trios titles, not only here, but in every place that has them prominently. It's very quickly, you know, if it's not on a team that they keep it on for a long time, usually hot potatoes because of the chaos of the match, and then they focus on somebody for a while. You know, it happens everywhere. So this was kind of fun, you know, and I like Christian coming in kind of banged up. They gave you all the hope spots you wanted. Like, you expected Cope to, like, you know, hero it at the end 2-on-1, but instead he got beat. Like, I don't know, it caught us by surprise. And then what with Jericho too, losing. So, like, the Canadians losing, it's not what you expected. So I don't know. I'm good. You gonna jump by again? Oh, there she went. She went a little lower this time past the camera.
There we go. There we still saw the flitter, the clippity clappity. Yeah, this match was fun. You know, tons of near falls, like you said. This was one of those matches where you really didn't know what was going to happen at the end of the day, and it could have gone either way. And you know what? This is one of those times in AEW where I'm going to be, let's wait and see what happens.
Dude, the Stokely spot, like throwing Stokely in to break up the pin and stuff. Like, Christian Cage is still like one of my top, like, I'm going to make the definitive, like, top 24 wrestlers of all time for me. And he's on that list forever. Like, he's so good. And, like, I don't think Edge is on that list for me. You know, there's people like Tempest is like Edge is his favorite wrestler. A lot of people love Edge, but, like, when it comes to, like, the wrestlers that, like, I really love, like, them and everything about them, like, Christian beats him out. That's why he comes out second. And that's why the tag team it's Cage and Cope, right? It's not Cope and Cage, it's Cage and Cope. As it should be, as part of the whole asshole thing. Like, they got to lean into it.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's exactly it. That's why I enjoy it. Then we got Willow Nightingale challenging Camille to a match. So this Wednesday, as again, if you're watching us on YouTube, it's happening tomorrow. If you're listening to us on KPHR Hamilton, match already happened. Camille versus Willow on Dynamite.
Like, you're going to have Camille lose right on her, like, return back?
You give her the belt now. Give her the belt. Boom.
That seems weird. And if that's all it takes in AEW is to attack someone from behind to get a title shot, but, you know, but, like, there's people that say that stuff online, like, oh, but it's the champion that challenges you. Like, oh, you attack me from behind? Like, they bite the bait. And if they don't bite the bait, then they're, oh, what's the matter? You're a coward. Like, it's a classic scenario. And of course, it happens in real life.
Okay, so with that said, do you like the trope of the heel champion offering the challenge when they get goaded into it?
Offering the challenge when they get goaded into it? No, a heel champion should try and, like, avoid defending his title at all costs, unless he's the type of heel that does, unless he's the dominant heel, the badass killer heel, you know, or even like a Ric Flair type. Of course, I'll take you on. I'm the best there is. But, like, when the chips are down, he will cheat. You know, I don't know. But I don't think a heel should be offering up title shots left, right, and center. He should definitely be like, you need to earn it, the way that MJF does. The 5-match trial. You got to take on Nick Gage in a pizza cutter before you get a title shot at me, pal.
You are listening to AEW Dynasty's review here in KPHR Hamilton. And speaking of chips, the next match was the Casino Gauntlet match for the vacant TNT Championship. Entrant number 1 was Tommaso Ciampa. Entrant number 2 was Rush. Entrant number 3, we had Bandito. Number 4 was Mike Bailey. Number 5 was El Clon. Number 6 was Pac. Number 7 was
There's
Dan
a division right there. Like, any one of those guys could have won this match. That's a good thing about this match. And a lot of people were announced for it. Sorry to cut off your countdown of all the people. But half the roster has a title. So offering a title match for an attack isn't that big of a deal. That's a good point, Scott. There are too many titles in some ways in this company. Like, is this title they're winning right now, this TNT title? Like, what is this title? Where does it sit in the hierarchy?
Well, that's exactly it, right? It used
TV
to
championship,
back
right?
in the day. Yeah, exactly. At this point, it is.
And you got Okada and Takeshita going after a title that never gets defended, but like should have more clout. Like it should really be up there, right? But somehow the national title's getting defended internationally.
Well, then you have the Continental, which is a weird thing because every year it gets thrown into the C2.
Yeah. But okay.
Number 8 was Anthony Bowens. Number 9 was Kevin Knight. Number 10 was Wheeler Yuta. And then that is where the match ended because Kevin Knight picks up the win to win the vacant TNT Championship in about 21 minutes.
Anybody could have won this. Was that you mentioned Garcia came out as well? Like I don't. Okay, so like I would, Garcia, yeah, Wheeler, yeah. Like if they had won, they could have won. But like a lot of people that came out here could have won. It was nice that you didn't know who was going to be in it except for the first 2 people announced. So no matter who won, it was a surprise, even if it was those 2 people at the beginning. Loving me some Ciampa. Rouge always seems dangerous. He seems like a dangerous human being. You're like, oh my God. Even Danielson's like, I fought Rouge once and felt it for forever. I think this was the match. Was this the match where Danielson came out, switched off with Nigel? Was it this match or the match before?
I believe it was this match.
Okay, because there's a
that I don't remember.
Between the analytics of Danielson and the like smarmy humor of Nigel, but I love them both. Hopefully one day they get them on together. But then Nigel would just like go after Danielson the whole time, which would also be awesome, right? I think there's something there, right? If they ever decide to there's something there of Nigel like taking over ROH and being like, or you always replace me with Danielson. Like I can never get out of this shadow. Even on commentary, I get halfway through a PLE and you replace me with Danielson. Like I've had it. Like Nigel needs to be the evil bad guy of AEW who comes up when you least expect it and it like takes off the mask. It was me, Danielson. It was me all along. Like he needs to be the next Don Callis. Like really. In my opinion, it's some fashion.
Yeah, here's what I have in my notes. Big old spot fest. Tons of fun. Crowd loved it. Lots of big spots and near falls. Not going to be easy for the next match to follow up. And that is unfortunately what happened.
But
the next match.
Anybody could. You're trying to push me forward on this. This match, anybody could have really won it. I thought basically as everybody was coming out, I was like, yeah, Pac would be great to win this match, especially now that he's taken off his singlet. He's back to his little tighties. And like who else? Like Bandito. I got disappointed when Bandito came out because I'm like, all right, you're ROH champion. Like every time I see you, it's like deflated. What do you think about this like evil look from Speedball? He's like, you could have broke my legs there, pal. Like you see how far back he was leaned out. You like, gave him the move, could have killed me, and you took away my opportunity. Like, what do you think they're gonna do there?
Exactly. We'll see. Right? There were small things that they could have taken away from this match. We'll see what they actually follow up with, right? If there's something AEW doesn't do all the time is follow up on those small little things that happen in these types of matches.
I guess so. But I mean, like Kevin Knight gonna have a long reign? Who knows? Like Tony Khan seems to love this freaking guy, but I can see Speedball being a heel. I have seen him do a couple of like heel. There's some places down the indies back in the day used to like give him little heel arcs, and it was never what he's like prevalent at because he's so smiley, like he's automatically like the first thing he does when he shows up at a promotion is Speedball does the Speedball thing, right? But he can do it, especially because of the language barrier and the fact that he's so reserved. And like if you know Emil personally, like he kind of has like this like that classic like French Canadian dickishness about him.
I was gonna say
bit.
exactly.
So, like he could totally be a dick, man. Like he could pull it off like amazing if he really was given like some runway with it. So like I don't know, kind of cool. We'll see what happens with Kevin Knight here, but these are always really fun matches. Although I still think it's weird. Sorry, hit my mic there. They need to have one of them. When this match happened later on in the pay-per-view, I thought maybe they might make it a quick one because somebody does need to win quickly to make this stipulation worth it. Right? Did you hear what I said there? I saw you take off your headphones. Like they need
I can still hear you. Yeah,
okay. The way that they eventually gave the Undertaker the win at 30 in the Rumble. Like they eventually had to make it happen because for so long they kept saying like, well, the best number to get is number 30, except like 20 years in, it like obviously was not. So they need to eventually have somebody win very quickly in this match to
one or two.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. like within the first 5 people or first few minutes, where it's like, whoa, what a dominant performance. Like basically number 1 and 2, they get their qualifying matches. They come in. Number 3 is Pac. Number 4 is like an Obafemi type who comes in, kills someone, smashes them, wins. And you're like, whoa, 5 minutes, the match is over, right? Another thing I think they should do is they should have like a backstage segment where like after the Casino Gauntlet, they go backstage for an interview with one of these people. And there's 2 people back there, like kind of arguing. Like one person is like, yeah, like one person who's coming up to Gorilla right away as somebody else is like leaving. And it's like, what? It's over? And it's like, yeah, they just won. He's like, oh, man, like, oh, I would have won. And then these 2 people get in a scuffle, like Joe, like very simple stuff, you know, like Takeshi Morishima and like Samoa Joe just like bumping shoulders, kind of like, and then they screw you, right? So, but I would have won. No, I would bam. So 2 people who got screwed out of the gauntlet end up having a feud, you know, like that would be great, right?
Exactly. No, that I don't know, remember who I had this conversation with. May have been you, may have been someone else, but yeah, they need to do something like that. Keep it fresh, keep it open. It's similar to our conversation about the 2 of 3 Falls match.
Keep it fresh.
I think this is where it came up.
I would always say to my girlfriend.
Jesus Christ. Tekla versus Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's Championship. As you mentioned, you watched this on mute. I watched this with full volume, but this was unfortunately the match where the crowd was, they needed the smoke break. They needed the bathroom. They needed a snack.
I heard that after the fact. Yeah. And I got to tell you, on mute, like this was a good little match. Mostly it looked like Tekla just, beating the snot out of Jamie Hayter, and Jamie Hayter doing a good job.
It pretty much was.
Yeah. Like Tekla's got her thing going on. Hey, what they don't have going on though is they don't have a draw in this division right now. Tekla's a great worker. TNT, I don't know what they're going to do. Camille, I guess, is a good worker. We don't really know. But everybody loves Willow, but she's not like a superstar. She could be, I guess, one day if she got the right machine behind her, but she's not Monet. She's not Toni Storm. So yeah, I'm hoping somebody comes back soon, because this division has lost a little bit of steam. And it seemed like Toni Storm was really giving a lot to this division. A lot of eyes, a lot of respect, a lot of moving up the card. And I just hope they don't lose that momentum.
Yeah, there was a moment that was kind of funny. I believe Tekla went for a suicide dive to the outside and just completely, you could tell that she was winded, and the camera was right there and the mic just picked it up. Both of them saying, "Give me a minute, me too," or something along those lines. But it was funny. It was one of those funny moments in pro wrestling. But yeah, this was a good match. Kind of a weird ending. The match felt to me like it just ended, and that was that. But yeah.
That was that. These matches end. That's what happened. Was it a roll-up? It was like a quick roll-up?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think it was a quick roll-up.
It was. Let me look
at my notes. Then you had Darby.
It was a roll-up.
Yeah, so you had Darby with his like quick pin, which I like that pin sometimes. I don't like it in this situation. This made Andrade look weak. He should have like schoolboyed him or given him some kind of like Mahi straw, something that was a little more like flippy, hold you tight out of nowhere. That move requires a little too much setup, a little too much time for the full lean back. And if the referee waits for Darby's head to hit the canvas before he starts his count, then it really makes it seem like it takes far too long for it to be a surprise move. It's a kind of, you hit the coffin drop, you roll through, you roll them up, then you go through the motions to pull that on and put that on a guy because he's just been winded. I don't like it as a surprise roll-up, and I thought that actually made Andrade look weak. But surprisingly, not too many roll-ups in this show in general. But I thought the fact that those were basically back-to-back with the exception of the gauntlet. But what happened? Like, how did the gauntlet victory happen too? Oh, yeah, it was the quick boom onto Speedball and whatnot. So, yeah. Anyways, go on.
Yeah. So this is the issue that I have with AEW. Again, maybe I'm being nitpicky, but sometimes I feel that AEW pay-per-views, a lot of the matches have very similar endings.
Yeah, like if I don't know what their agent situation is like or whether they talk, but in my own promotion, there was periods of time when I had TV. I was very involved backstage constantly with everything going on, and we had to have backstage promos and whatnot because we had TV time to pad out and fill. So we're like, oh man, we have a run time. We need interviews for every match, whether they get used or not. And you were concerned. You would talk about finishes with guys very quickly. I'm not sure if this happens here, and the reason I brought that up is when I stopped being so involved with TV with the indie promotion, it was just more like, hey, let's have fun. You stop paying attention, and then suddenly you don't have the hard cam feed on a screen backstage. So now you don't have that feed for guys, and you're not nitpicking about everything because you don't have TV production. Now you're just a casual indie show, and suddenly you notice that everybody's doing like similar moves, not even similar endings, but like in three matches in a row, you get a freaking low blow on the top rope and then a guy sunset flip off. And I'm like, oh, that happened in like every match. So like, yeah, it does happen. And I wonder if AEW doesn't have that communication backstage. I've been backstage at an AEW show. Didn't look like it was the most organized thing in the world. Hence why I was able to get backstage at an AEW show.
Our first conversation consisted of this.
Yes. So
there we go. AEW Continental Championship match. Jon Moxley versus Will Ospreay was up next. This match was, I guess, good.
I like the frenetic pace because they had the time limit. So like they squished it all in and like starting at the beginning with the hidden blade and then overkill on the hidden blade and almost like his own worst enemy with the I got time. And the last 5 minutes of this match, you know, like if this was an All Japan tape from the 90s where they cut out the majority of the match, the last 5 minutes of this match, you know, you'd have the intro and you'd have the hidden blade and you'd have a few stuff and then they'd cut to that last 5 minutes and you'd have 8 minutes total of the 20-minute match available on this VHS, and those last 5 minutes would be worth it. It's a hell of a match. This was fun. And then as soon as he started hitting him with the paradigm on the outside and then like multiple pile drivers and like the way he was selling like his hands and his knees, like his spine, almost like his brain wasn't getting signals to his body. Yeah, but
like when they do that.
It's realistic selling from a guy who just went through something similar, right? So yeah, it's creepy and it's weird. And maybe I can, you know, if you want to list the reasons why you don't think it's healthy and it shouldn't happen, I can probably agree with some of them. But in general, like this is what Ospreay wanted to do. All of us are out here thinking like, why are you taking pile drivers on steel steps? You just got off surgery and you came back like early from what, like really you should have been kind of like, what's going on here? But if you want to turn off that switch, and this last 5 minutes was great. And
look, at the same time, people
drive the hell out of him.
Complain about Ospreay not selling. You got this, and here I am complaining about how much he's selling and how he's selling, right?
Yeah, he's not selling the right way. Oh, Boris.
Classic IWC.
Everyone's a critic. Yeah, classic IWC.
There we go.
You're like, let me see your neck. You got beard on your neck? You do, don't you?
Don't.
Freaking
not at all.
Not at all.
Jesus Christ. Jon Moxley defeats Will Ospreay about 18 minutes, retains the championship. I like this. This was pretty good. I like this. Where do you go from here?
I don't know. It's like the Death Riders are kind of like weirdly pseudo baby face-ish now. And I'm almost getting this vibe like they're like, hey, Ospreay, we know you got beef with us, but things have kind of changed. So like if you keep attacking us, we're gonna have to keep beating you up, pal. So like, why don't you screw off a bit? So I really don't know what's gonna happen. Is it Ospreay who's just gonna have a chip on his shoulder and be like, I'm coming for you? And they're like, all right, I guess we'll throw down again. I don't know. What did was it Scott? What did he say there? The Boar Horseman?
He says Death Riders are the Boar Horsemen.
I'm not saying he was saying or the Boar, or are they the Boar Horsemen? Because yeah, they kind of are sometimes the Boar Horsemen. It's weird. I don't know. Yeah, they don't have a lot of like personality. It's weird.
No, they don't.
You know,
they really don't. It's one of the many issues. Let's keep going with the show. The Dogs, David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Clark Connors versus Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly for the AEW Trios titles. FYI, the Dogs literally won the titles the night before. Gabriel Kidd with a nasty shoulder separation in the middle of this match. Do you think they called an audible?
Well, it seemed, from what I hear, originally it was supposed to be that Kyle, like all three Dogs were basically beating down Cassidy and Strong a lot. Like beat down Cassidy, Strong gets in, they cut him off, they get to beat down on him. And it was supposed to be Kyle who did the big rescue at the end. They take Kyle out early. And then, so once they do the two beatdowns, Kyle comes in, takes out all three of them, big submission ending, everybody pops. So they changed, obviously. It ended up kind of being like a 2-on-2 because they kind of stuck with the plan still. But then at the end, Kyle just came in and only took on two guys and it was very obviously 3-on-2 at this point. But they were supposed to lose anyways, the Dogs, from what that was the plan. It's really too bad. I went back and I watched. I mean, there was not long into this match before this happened. And Gabe was holding his wrist very early, like the very first interaction, holding his wrist. But then he came from outside, slid into the ring, pushed up on both arms, and then attacked with that arm. And it wasn't until he got thrown outside again that he almost looked okay, but then I saw him favoring the arm. I'm thinking a shoulder separation in the end run. Like he might have, it might have been like separate. He might have, the reason it's really bad now is probably because he did all that stuff after the initial, oh, what's going on? And then he's like, well, fuck, it's my spot. And he went in to do it. And then he got thrown out after that is when he's like, oh man, this is way worse than I thought. He might have screwed himself up more just in those few moments. But I don't know what the initial pop out had. It was obviously something casual.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a blow or a screwed up spot. It was all like the kind of thing where you're like, I screw you, buddy. Oh no. I just like screamed at a fan and just, what the hell's going on my shoulder? Like, I guarantee you, because I was watching and watching. Nothing happened to this guy.
And once you separate your shoulder once, it's the easy ways that you can do it. I've separated my shoulder really badly when I was younger and playing sports. I was playing a lot of baseball, screwed up my shoulder really badly. Since then, it's never been proper. I separated it once, lifting up a singular light piece of wood where I just picked it up and it just popped out.
Yeah, and like that's Randy Orton's major issue, right? He's been having for a long time.
Yeah.
So was nice knowing you, Gabe, kid. See ya, kid. Oh, no, whatever. See ya, kid. No, hopefully he's fine. And it's too bad. The dogs, man. I don't know. And like Clark Connor's like starting to wear colors a little bit and then like grinding on the couch and stuff. I'm like, I used to like Clark Connors. So now he's healing out in the ways that make me want to not like him. And I don't know if it's on purpose or not. I really like this.
Well, it sets us up here on KPHR Hamilton and on YouTube at Hutch Henry's for the main event of AEW Dynasty. MJF versus Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship.
The big one. Oh, my Lord. This was a great match. It was a long match. Good match.
This is really long.
Yeah, and it's amazing how sometimes AEW doesn't pull me in, and I've never been the biggest Kenny Omega fan in the world, but I've realized that there are people out there that this could have been to them like the all-in main event. Mm-hmm. This could have been the main event of main events. Like, this is it. And Kenny did a great job of looking a step off, of like second guessing himself, you know, like how long he thought about it and like really measured himself before he went up for that Kota Ibushi moonsault to the outside, and like all the moves that he took a little longer to like set up and do, and getting to the top rope taking too long. And man, a great match in every single way. And even MJF being able to say he kicked out of the one-wing angel now, even though he didn't really, because it took so long. Oh, it's like all the little nuances that AEW is good at. But a very long match, great match. And if Max like lost on Wednesday, it would almost be like okay now. Other than the fact that I don't know why they gave Hangman, and maybe Hangman did hit this stipulation because he knew it wasn't going to last long, and it was a momentary thing for us to be like, no way, even though it doesn't matter now because he's going to lose the title before Hangman even appears on TV again. Yeah.
This wasn't one of those where he wouldn't get a title shot as long as MJF champ. He's not going to get a title shot ever again.
Oh yeah. Well, then, yeah, then even more of a reason why they might put it on Darby then.
Right. Maybe Darby is the one who says, you know what, screw stipulations, you can do it, or someone. It's going to be heel. It's going to be a face that gives him a shot.
Like somebody forces him.
This match was great. Yeah. This match was great. MJF looked really awesome. He really looks like he's matured as a pro wrestler in this match. Like, he looked awesome. Really was able to go toe-to-toe with Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is, regardless of what you think of him, whether you think of him as two different wrestlers, you know, the New Japan him, the AEW him, dude's not a spring chicken anymore, and he's still putting on fantastic matches. 39-minute match. MJF defeats Kenny Omega.
Yeah, man, this is it kept my interest the whole time, even though it was getting late. You know, like Kenny's been changing his style a little bit, like those flurries of strikes and things like that. And I don't know, it was kind of neat. I like what they're doing here. I'm hoping that MJF would be good to be as a champion for most of the year in a lot of ways. Because I don't know who you're going to have go after him. Like I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't know who you're going to have replace him as champion right now, but a lot of people can go after him and he can beat them. And those will all be great matches. But yeah, this match really, did end up coming through in the end run, but another Canadian losing on this show, like, man, suck on that, Canada, all your people lost. It's like, they just gave us the Kyle O'Reilly thing. They were like, here you go. We can't have him come back from injury. Good old Kyle had him lose, but we would have if we thought we could.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, there we go. That was AEW Dynasty. Overall, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up. You know, like actually what I thought was going to be like an in your house type show, and I wasn't too sure if I'd be that interested in it, like kind of kept me interested throughout. It was a long show, but I liked everything. In some ways, it almost didn't seem like overkill. Like there wasn't too many blood spots or too many. It didn't just seem like the same thing over and over and over, even though in a lot of ways, you know, it was that. But does that make sense? Like there's been some shows where you're like, man, it's been too much hardcore, too much blood, too much this. Like I felt like this one was a little more reserved, even though it was very long.
Exactly what I wanted from an AEW pay-per-view or a wrestling pay-per-view. Huge thumbs up from me. Tons of fun. I'm not even going to complain about the length of it. You know, it was fun. I was sports entertained, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. This was great.
Yeah, and MJF versus Kenny to end off this really was fantastic. The fact that the Continental had to be a shorter match, it's like other people didn't get to be gratuitous, which made the fact that this was a long match, it was worth it in a lot of ways. Like AEW is still too long, still too gratuitous in a lot of ways, but they're slightly learning and changing to the point that it's becoming a little more palatable. And I don't know if it's a full-time thing, but yeah, I feel like this show did a pretty good job.
Yep.
10 out of 10 as far as their pay-per-views this year.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Let us flip the page. It is WrestleMania week, and it is the Raw before WrestleMania, the go-home show before a long weekend in Las Vegas with SmackDown, the Hall of Fame, WrestleMania nights 1 and 2, and WWE RAW. Let us start with the final WrestleMania, or the final Raw before WrestleMania, a very promo-heavy WrestleMania, but that makes sense. They want to avoid any possible injuries, especially when injuries seem to be happening to everyone and everywhere, right?
Well, they had a Roman promo which was pre-taped before they ended off with Roman at the very end, but it was a good pre-tape. You know, talking about Punk and like splicing in all the old, making him look like a hypocrite, and you know, showing him with Heyman, even though he said I don't need a wise man, and just like I don't need my people, and then showing the straight edge society and all this stuff. That was good. Now it still was kind of a weird, lame Raw though. Like what's going on? No Io Sky, like on WrestleMania now. Supposedly they've dropped that match. They were flirting with the Asuka thing. That's not happening. You know, MFT's on this show. Like what the hell? Keep him on SmackDown.
One of those
doing on my Raw.
Right. So night starts with Paul Heyman. Essentially, it's Brock Lesnar, Oba Femi contract signing, but they're separating them so that they can get 2 segments out of this. Brock Lesnar's out first. He signs a contract, says a lot of stuff to Oba Femi. He says there will be a loser at WrestleMania, or Heyman did the talking, and he says there will be a loser at WrestleMania, and that loser will be Oba Femi. And I love how he even says, you know what? Even after you lose, I'll get your career back on track.
Yeah, like this was good stuff from Heyman and Brock grabbing the mic. Quick in and out for Brock. We didn't see him for the rest of the night, but you know, this is like one of their main events here, and put it over as like the opening of night 2, you know, like boom. Before we quickly get away too far from AEW, you notice that a lot of their major shows this year are happening the week before WrestleMania. It's like Tony Khan has decided to fight back against the programming that they were doing by looking at his next year's schedule and saying like, all right, I'm going to go what they have already announced. I'm going to go a week before every single time. So it's like they're giving you their AEW like amazing show and being like, here, WWE, follow up, see what you can do to follow up on that. Because a lot of people were saying last year with the Survivor Series they had the whatever their thing is, not War Games, but Blood and Guts before. Blood and Guts was better, right? And there was a lot of comparisons throughout the year. So maybe this was their offering against WrestleMania, and in which case it was pretty good. Like moving on to Raw, like you said, opening up with Brock. Next segment, what was it you just said?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. So next we saw an iShow Speed training with Logan Paul and Austin Theory. This was very face-ish, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I love iShow Speed, man. Everything I see from this kid is great. He seems down to earth. He seems kind. He doesn't seem to have too much of a big head for a kid who's obviously got enough cash at his age, 21. He's willing to put in the work. He's in good shape. Like, I bet you everything he does at WrestleMania is going to be awesome. This kid's awesome. I'm sorry. I'm a huge iShow Speed fan. Like,
I agree with you.
Like, if I got to deal with any of these celebrities, he's my guy.
We got Lyra Valkyria versus Charlotte Flair. Lyra Valkyria gets the win. This builds up tension towards the women's tag team scene. Next, we had Stephanie McCare going into the ring for an interview. Liv Morgan blindsides her from behind and takes out Kathy Kelly in the process.
Her days are numbered in wrestling. Awesome. Like the music video they showed beforehand, which she's going to debut as her in-ring song from now on, starting with WrestleMania. The like wild-eyed insanity of her attacking her, and you can still see like she obviously got a bit of a like shiner underneath her eyes from the headbutt thing. Like they probably affected her nose a bit, but like she looks like, dude, this woman can act. And like the ferocity of her insanity, like she's so like she's a superstar,
dude.
Like the female John
the way
Cena.
that this match
years from now, I'm telling you. Done. She's done.
100%. Her days in wrestling are numbered. She's going to be a star. I know that she also does acting lessons and all that fun stuff. Okay, so here's my thing about WrestleMania Night 1. Orton and Rhodes is a thing. That's going to main event because you kind of have to main event it with it. What I want to see as the main event of Night 1 is this match. Liv Morgan and Stephanie McCare. I think this is one of the better built-up matches.
Yeah, and it's going to be a hell of a match, but Vaquer didn't have like she had the angle issue. She hasn't really wrestled much, right? That ankle boot she had on for a while was like they were keeping her out of the ring, letting her heal properly. And with the language barrier, they weren't able to put the stank on it for mainstream. We're talking. This is a behind the scenes office that's deciding Pat McAfee needs to be involved in the main event. Stephanie Vaquer was not enough for them. Liv Morgan might have it. I know that they're probably like, man, this gal's got it all going on. And I guarantee she's probably going to take that title. But I don't think Stephanie has the chops on the mic or the presence yet to be a main event, WrestleMania main eventer, especially in the TKO era. Like they want people that they can put their media machine behind. And maybe with the rise of AAA and the popularity of Lucha, like if what's going on down south works, then I mean, YouTube is 75% Spanish speaking chunk of wrestling audiences in the worldwide is huge. It's just not the biggest money making epicenter, which is why you see American wrestling. But if they can bolster that, then she's certainly passionate when she speaks her own language. Man, she's a hell of a promo.
This is what we're going to be doing. We're going to keep going here on YouTube at Hutch Henry's. If you're listening on KPIHR, well, you're only getting the hour of the show. But we're going to keep going with things here live. Funny that you should bring this up about Stephanie McCare, because today it was announced that South America is getting a tour in September, including Chile. On Friday, September 11th, they're going to be in Santiago, Chile. And, they're going to be Buenos Aires on September 11th and Santiago, Chile on September 12th.
Awesome. So like Katrina, whatever her name is, La Catalina, the one who
La Catalina versus Stephanie McCare could be a thing.
She's from Chile. And she first signed with WWE when she was 17, 18 years old through William Regal. And she just took some time off. They brought her back. So she's probably going to win that Reina de Reinas. They're probably going to do some mixing with AAA during that tour stuff, and that's going to be great. They've got 2 homegrown lady stars. They're probably going to do well with that. So there you go.
Yep, absolutely. Next thing we saw was the Usos and LA Knight versus the MFTs. JC Mateo, Solo Sikoa, and Tonga Loa. Where was Tama Tonga? Throughout the match? Well, he shows up to distract people, and in the ring, we see a BFT from LA Knight to get the win for the Usos and himself.
Yes, this was on in my peripherals. This was the one moment I wasn't paying that much attention, but I tuned back in by turning my head to see good old Tonga Loa taking the BFT and going down. And then, I saw that Tama Tonga was outside and stuff. We'll see what's going on there. There's a future there with Tama Tonga. I was thinking the other day about who he could be teaming up with. I was like, that it was outside of the BFTs. I'm like, man, that would be really great. But hopefully there's a good future there for him. He's got a lot of talent, maybe with what happened to this whole Shinsuke thing? And he's not like coming out of he's not showing up all the time after these segments. He just disappeared.
Right. There you go. All right. What else is happening here? Gunther comes out for a promo. Doesn't really get much in before Seth Rollins attacks him. They go back and forth. And that's the final setup for their match.
Like when Seth Rollins comes out at Mania, is he going to be dressed like Peacock Flamingo with the big with the glasses and the big stuff? Because like, kind of digging this whole like black. I'm taking him a little more seriously. I don't know if I need like Seth Rollins anymore, but we'll see how he comes out at WrestleMania. This will be weird. What a weird match this is. What a weird Mania this is altogether.
It'll be fun.
Just odd.
We'll talk about this later on this week, but I think WrestleMania is going to be just fine. There's going to be some matches that are going to be awesome. ISHO Speed's going to be a huge takeaway. I think Liv Morgan, Vakir going to kill it. This is going to be an okay weekend of pro wrestling.
I'm just now realizing, like, because you said ISHO Speed's going to kill it, like Jelly Roll doesn't have a match at Mania, does he? So that means like it's going to be Jelly Roll somehow getting involved in the main event alongside Pat McAfee in some fashion.
Most likely.
Because he's got to be like, he can't be on all these shows and not be at Mania. And if he's at Mania, he can't be like not involved since he's been so involved in all these shows. So that means the only thing he could be involved with theoretically is that match. Oh, how disappointing.
It's funny because I literally had that note for our preview. So yes.
Yeah. All right, continue.
Right? It's weird how that's going to work out. Like I said, I hope something happens. Something has to happen. I just want pandemonium. Let's just get pandemonium in that match. All right, Io Sky versus Kairi Sane was next. There was all these distractions. Asuka got involved. Rhea Ripley takes her out. Jade Cargill takes her out. Kairi Sane picks up the win. This was the final setup for Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Doesn't make me want to see the match anymore. In fact, all I can think about is how Io Sky had the best match at Mania last year, both nights, really. Like the discussion is there, and how she's not even going to be involved this year. Now, from what I hear, this might be something going on with Asuka, like a small, like, because she hasn't been wrestling. It's been all Kairi Sane. They're dropping the possible match against Io. I think Asuka might not be cleared to wrestle right now for some reason. It's really unfortunate because they had the room to get this Io match on, and Io's so good. And just, I don't know. It's really too bad how things have gone in a lot of ways. What?
Are the Bellas cleared?
I think so. They're in that triple. They're in the thing with all the women, right? The match with all the.
I think so.
Yeah.
I have the card saved. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Somebody that I was talking to said something about how the fact that the Bellas are cleared is why Io doesn't have a match. Or something. I was like, what does that mean? Why?
Because Asuka and Kairi
would have they were there to take the spot of the Bellas if necessary, but now they're cleared, so they didn't make a story for Io the whole time.
Yeah,
it's too bad. It shows you who they prioritize. Io should be a priority, but I'm telling you, it's language barrier for these people. No matter how many opportunities they give them, no matter how much they like them, no matter how much they're over, no matter how much they're the most reliable workers that you can put in any situation, no matter all the checks, there's an X where it says English, and
an American company is going. Sorry. So sorry.
Yeah, these boardroom people, that is a big deal for them.
Yeah.
No matter how
an American company is going to be an American company. That's all I have to say. That's what I deal with 9 to 5 every single day. And it's just
there's certain accents you can get away with. You know, you can get away with a strong Russian accent or a strong German accent or something where like it gives them like gravitas, or you can even be like, oh, they're evil or whatever. There's some accents that are not harsh on the English ear, but unfortunately the Asian accents, when they are, heavy, and Indian accents when they're heavy, and there's a few others that you could peg when they're heavy, it's very difficult. It's a hard listen, and if you can't get through it, you don't want to put that as your right on your product every day, as this is the figurehead of my company, and it's unfortunate.
Yep, it is. Speaking of figureheads, faces of the product, Obafemi was up next to do his side of the contract signing. He signs things. Him and Paul Heyman have a back and forth. This is where Paul Heyman made the mention of, "Hey, I can rehab your career once Brock Lesnar beats you." And then Obafemi may have given the promo of his career, a promo that elevates him to the next level.
Yeah, they threw him to the wolves here, and he did great. And that gravitas, that booming voice, and the confidence you believe. This is great, and this is the big what if of WrestleMania. Who's gonna win this match? What? This is the one match where I have no freaking clue, really. And I don't even know what the right decision is. Everybody, a real Mark Wheel, of course, Obafemi should win. It's I don't know.
Look, we're gonna have this exact same conversation. We're going to have this exact same conversation in a couple days, but you can go either way. Do you give Brock Lesnar the win to set up a possible match with Gunther? Do you give Obafemi the win because he's the future of WWE? There's so many directions they can go in. Honestly, this is a match where both guys can just brawl to the back and no one wins. I don't know.
That's a big boo right there. Boo.
Oh, I know. But it's TKO.
I don't know. Brock needs to win, but he can't win convincingly. He needs to, for the first time ever, he needs to I'm going to say it, Boris, okay, because I'm going to chicken shit heel. He needs to freaking cheat. He needs to be in a panic and needs to do something outside of his character to win. And then you can build this feud towards him. He already said he doesn't want to lose again until he retires. Whether or not, he has the power to hold true to that, or, he can be swayed with a good conversation. But what happens when Oba wins? He wins, he's over, Brock's dead, Oba moves on to beat somebody for got to think like a promoter. There is meat on the bone if Brock wins and wins in a certain way, and you kill a lot of that if Oba just wins.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly it right there.
I'm calling Brock.
You're calling Brock. We'll talk about this in a WrestleMania preview later on this week. Go to your favorite podcasting app and subscribe to A Plus Wrestling or A Plus Productions. You get all of our shows outside of our regular KPHR Hamilton weekly show. Next match was Javon Evans and Dragon Lee versus JD McDonough and Rusev. Javon Evans and Dragon Lee win. Rusev snaps. He takes everyone out, including Rey Mysterio and Penta, and he stands tall as the lone person from that ladder match, which means he's not winning.
I was going to be like, man, I really think Rusev's going to win the IC title now, man. Wow. That was devastating. See what happens. I still call him Penta. I think there's a lot of meat on the bone for them with Penta.
Yeah.
Or, Ray.
Who's the champ right
Ray. I can see Ray winning.
I'm like, who's the champ right now? I'm like, oh, yeah. Penta. Yeah. There we go. Battle segment. Everything comes full circle. Roman Reigns, he comes in, gets a huge reaction. He demands acknowledgement from the crowd before he can really say much more. CM Punk comes out. And then we get a war of words, but not the way that you would expect. Punk kind of goes really deep into personal promos. He admits that jealousy fueled his animosity with Reigns. He acknowledges the success, legacy, and dominance of Reigns, and then he talks about the whole Roman Reigns' dad stuff, and he says he was a great man, and he does apologize. The crowd kind of changed a little bit here. Reigns then, as he's taking all of this in, he responds kind of the same, and he acknowledges Punk's honesty, but making it clear that respect does not erase rivalry. He admitted his own hatred, rooted in Punk's connection with the audience, before promising that WrestleMania 42 would end with the world acknowledging him. Very weird last promo for these two. It's almost like I don't even know what they're trying to set up. I don't know what they were trying to go for. It was very weird, but it was good. I liked it, but it was very weird.
I haven't given it much thought. I know some people, I saw the audience change immediately that the moment Punk said sorry, there was like a ripple of change. And I saw some guy online said Punk went out there and basically blubbered about all this stuff. And then Roman was like, that doesn't matter because I'm going to, we need to make money and this experiment's over. I'll see you. We're going to beat you. I don't think it was quite that one-sided. Gonna think of it like the 5 stages of grief or whatever it is, right? There's like defensiveness and then eventually to acceptance or whatever the stages are. You know what I'm saying? So they've hit this final stage where they've been talking about this for 5-6 weeks now. They've been thinking about it. And now, they've really been able to reflect upon why they reacted certain ways and did certain things. And so I kind of think it was cool. You can't just shit on your opponent all the time without putting them over. If, hey, you suck, you're going to beat you up. Beating you up is going to be no problem. And I'm going to beat you. Well, then you've obviously beat nobody because he sucks. But so classically, Punk's able to say I'm jealous of you because of these things. But the reason I don't even like those things is I would have never accepted them, but I'm still jealous you have them. And Roman being able to say I'm jealous of what you have with these 10 freaking years. How long it took me to get them to cheer me and they're cheering you, not even doing anything. You got to come back, or it can't just all be all yo, whatever. They can't just all be bravado all the time. The soft underbelly And this is why you fall in love with characters. But I think they did an okay job, especially for a build that's already been like, meh, you know?
I wasn't expecting it. That's ultimately what I wanted to say. I did like it. It adds a real human aspect to it.
Yeah, man. I love that Punk doubled down on wearing the jacket. Even after McAfee called him out on it. It's just like, oh, you bastard.
Yeah. But yeah. It was a very weird ending because the way that both of them were talking was like, you know what? We have a match, but it's like they both kind of shat on McAfee at the same time. It's like, what's gonna happen at WrestleMania this weekend?
Yo, like which match is McAfee involved in again? I don't even remember. I don't know.
Right?
What's going on? Like this entire build has been crazy, and we still got Friday, right? Which is like
exactly WrestleMania Friday, partially. SmackDown. We'll preview all of it the entire weekend later on this week.
And like WrestleMania is too big now. Channel. Like I can't even like go to a bar and like watch a pay-per-view with like other radio guys or podcast guys like Poison Rana or like you or anybody. I'm not going to no bar for WrestleMania for 2 whole bloody days with all this. And when does it start? At 12 in the afternoon with all this stuff? Like, I don't know. I just stay home now.
I always pick one night to go.
Yeah. What was that?
I always pick one night to go, if at all.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think WrestleMania for me every year lately has, ever since the 2 nights thing's just been like WrestleMania's at home. Maybe a buddy comes over, but basically it's just me doing WrestleMania.
Pretty much. That's how I always have review shows after, so I'm typically home. Last year was the first time I was really able to which we'll talk about later on, and you'll get the entire schedule for this weekend on our WrestleMania review show later on this week. Go to your favorite podcasting app and search for A+ Wrestling or A+ Productions. That is all the time we have here on KPHR Hamilton and on the tubes of you at Hutch Henry's. Hutch, where can we find all your beautiful work?
At Hutch Henry's, at Demand Lucha. Check out at Demand Lucha Talks, which is my new review channel for. So we're talking about the first ever mass luchador in Mexico this week, and the dude was a white guy from Missouri. Woo! It's not what you expect. Started the whole tradition. So yeah, we do some deep dives on like stuff you would not expect. The behind the scenes of Lucha Libre. Oh.
There we go. aplusproduction.com. You can be part of the conversation by going to facebook.com and searching for A+ Productions. Hutch, thank you so much as always. It's going to be a very busy next few days, but we got you covered here on A+ Productions, so make sure to go to your favorite podcasting app and search for A+ Productions or A+ Wrestling. On behalf of the entire A+ crew, thank you so much for listening.